Hi, welcome to Threads of Time. My name is Zeffy. This is my little place on the internet where I talk about all my knitting projects. I'm sitting on them at the moment. I do have a few finished objects, so I will go through those now. Finished my scrappy socks. I've already worn them. Let's just hide that like this. So it's them. This was knit with some leftover yarn. So the striping is a self-striping from something handmade. I bought it a very long time ago, so I'll try and add, if I can remember who it was. And then a random little skein that I have no idea, but it was a sock yarn. So yeah, the pattern is Summerlee's free sock pattern. I have to excuse the light, it's suddenly going very overcast, so I was waiting for a nice-ish day because it's just been so dark and I have such a dark house. So anyway, so Summerlee's sock pattern, I knit this on a 2mm needle because I couldn't get gauge on the recommended. I started off with a bigger sock size and then I ended up decreasing because it was just too big. So I think I knit the third size in the end. But yeah, it fits good. I'm happy with it. This was my first time doing a heel flap. And I think I probably got it in my brain now, so that's good. Yeah, they're a little bit different, but I'm happy enough. No one really sees socks anyway. The next one is this black blob, which I've been knitting for a while. I haven't worn it yet. Hang on, I'll put it on. It's probably not gonna be able to see much here anyway. It has quite a deep V, which I think I might sew up a little bit. And I generally put a little brooch here to close the top because I think that looks nice, and that's kind of how it is in the original. But yeah, I feel like it's kind of just, there we go. It's kind of just sitting on me. I don't know what it is, but I'm not the happiest about it. But yeah, it is done, so I guess I'll wear it at some point. Yeah, this lighting is terrible. Let's see if we can, I might do it in post editing. Yeah, that's that. And then the next finished object is my summer top. Let's see. Let me just fiddle with the settings. I think this is a bit better. Anyway, so this is the Simplistic rib Cami. And I have the same feeling. I think I have a picture of it with me trying it on when I cast it off. I don't like how I finished the top of the straps. I haven't woven in any of the ends and I haven't blocked it, and that's because when I finally cast it off, I was not very pleased, but it happened, so yeah. I think if I was to knit it again, I knit the small size. I think I would go extra small, even though my bust measurement isn't close to that. I just feel like there's, even though it's a negative ease pattern, I feel as though there's ease. It could be because it's DK weight and I don't really knit in DK weight, and it's a cotton and I've never really knit in cotton before either. It's just kind of like not very tight. I don't know how else to describe it. It's not size inclusive if you're wondering. I think it probably only goes to like extra large, but it is quite stretchy. The yarn I used is Bendigo Woolen Mills 8-ply cotton, which I actually enjoyed knitting with, so I might try and do a few more cotton projects coming into spring, summer this year. And yeah, that's that. If anyone has any ribbed camisole patterns that's not camisole number 5, I definitely would like to know, because I'd like to try more of those out, because I do want to wear these things. I just am very picky when it comes to what they look like on. I have a like pear shape, or if you're into the kibby, I'm most likely a romantic, and so when things don't fit properly they just make me feel quite frumpy, which is sad because I don't want to feel that way, and I don't want to spend time knitting on things that make me feel that way. So it kind of took the wind out of my sails a little bit. I have a half finished. I think I spoke about this last time, but I didn't show it. So I'm knitting another pair of socks. This is the same pattern from Summerlee, just a free one. The yarn, which is quite beautiful, is from Louis and Lola. It was a part of the Colours of Tasmania like mystery sock yarn. So I'm not quite sure what this one was called, but it's just so beautiful. And then this is one of her, I don't think it was the one that came with the sock, but it's a mini skein. Yeah, so I've just been knitting away on the second one. I did quite a short cuff because I kind of just don't really wear my socks in shoes. I just wear them around the house. It's something to do with the crunchy feeling on the feet that kind of is unique, especially in shoes. So yeah, it's very pretty. I really wanted to do something, so I definitely have leftovers which I might put into a scrap sock. That's that. Where is that other one? It's over there. Let's talk about something else. I did work on my 40s pattern that I'm doing a cowl with Vintage Knitting Party, which is a Sunglo pattern. It's called Moss Rose. It looks really nice on camera. So I finished the first repeat. It's a little bit puckered, which I think will solve itself in blocking. because there is a little bit of difference in thickness of the yarn between the main one, which is a sandness yarn. What is it? It is the Tin Pigant. And then the colours are from Marie Wallen. But yeah, looks really good. The back is not very pretty because obviously you have a lot of colours. So I did it in a bobbin kind of intarsia style, but I carried the main yarn across. So yeah, I think that's probably why it has puckered a bit, and it's quite thick here because obviously you're changing colours a lot. But hopefully it all blocks out, and I'm glad I have 25 rows of plain knitting, which I'm happy about, and then it's just one in the center. And yeah, I sell this pattern, and it on my Etsy, which is Threads of Time pattern. I sell the whole booklet, so it comes in multiple patterns, but it's not too expensive. But yeah, that's that. Are we excited to see how it turns out? I thought maybe I would only do it on the front and knit the back plain, because it was very tangly doing the bobbins, so we will see. And then another project, my cursed Wonderella. So it is quite close to being finished. Just going to quickly pin the front together. So many loose threads. So here it is. I've finished one sleeve. It's still on hold just because I want to block it and see how much the sleeve might grow or not grow. It's cursed because this is the second time I'm knitting this up. Oh, look at all those threads. And I think my gauge is wrong. I did measure it, but being a black fluffy yarn, I think I counted wrong. So I'm not really getting the size I knitted, and I might end up having to sew the button placket closed, which is fine because it's open here anyway. But apart from that, I'm still really enjoying it. I like mohair held with another yarn. I'm hoping, because the main yarn is the Drops Flora, which is an alpaca blend, that it will stretch out a bit. But one can only hope. I'm hoping magic will happen in blocking, and then sewing up the button placket will prevent the gaping, and that is recommended in the pattern if you desire. There's a couple of ways to fix that problem. Sewing in a ribbon to make it more stable, sewing it closed, but we'll see what we get. The one thing I don't like about mohair, which I'm sure other people have experienced, is it seems to pick up every single one of my hairs. And if anyone needed my DNA, you would definitely find it in this jumper, because I've knitted in so many of my hairs. Drives me a little bit crazy. You can see on my stitch markers, because it's a bat wing sleeve, there's lots of decreases. But yeah, hopefully it turns out. If not, I figured I'm a part of a lot of vintage groups. I can just sell it. Knit myself another one. I really don't want to though, so pray for my blocking abilities. And that's all the patterns that I've been working on actively. I did cast on another one. It is the Tombo Tee by Florence, who's here on YouTube as well. I love her podcast, so I have a few of her patterns that I want to knit. The wrap cardigan, this mini skirt, and then this tee, which is, as you can see, not even joined in the round yet. But I have this yarn, which is also from the Louis and Lola Colours of Tasmania, and it's probably one of my favourite pink yarns. So it's pretty similar to that blue one, just with a pink base, and then it's got these darker fuchsia pink, red, and then some of the like ochre rust mustard in there. So I really wanted to use this in a garment, but obviously being a mystery skein, I only have one, so I thought a striped top would be really good, and I think I will be able to get away with the small size. It won't have as much ease as the pattern recommends, but I don't really like lots of positive ease anyway, so something with 0 ease is more my style, or like 1 inch of ease. So I also got this yarn from Fibersmith, who's a Melbourne dyer, and it's called Pink Clay, and this is not showing it very well at all, but I didn't want a white that was very white, and then like an undyed white was a little bit too yellow, so I think these two go together really well. And my stripe sequence will be opposite to what you see on the pattern. So Florence did hers the dark colour and then the light colour. I'm going to do mine light and then dark, because the second colour one of the colours uses less yarn, so I might be able to get away with just one skein, hopefully. I probably knit it a little bit shorter, but yeah, maybe do some waist shaping, I'm not too sure. Obviously it is in the beginning stages of the process. I actually like how the shoulder is shaped, being the kind of it's like a saddle. It's that type where you cast on and you increase on either side and it creates a straight line. Contiguous, I'm not too sure. I'm not an expert on shaping, but I didn't want to raglan, so this is the next project I probably work on more once I've finished or getting close to finishing the sleeve on my Wonderella. I have gone back to working, and I can knit at work secretly when it's not busy. So I like to have a project that is kind of in a stage where I don't have to think about the instructions, and this one is not quite there yet. So that's that. I didn't buy that yarn. What else have I bought? No other yarn acquisitions apart from that Fibre Smith yarn. Just gonna pause and gather my thoughts. Okay, thoughts have been gathered. I did purchase some pattern books that I had my eye on for a while, so I got Divine by Kim Hargreaves, which is it's her spring summer collection. There are a few patterns in here that I really like, so I figured it would be a good purchase. There's this mohair cardigan that also comes in a shorter length. I really don't enjoy heavy winter clothes. I don't really like wearing a coat that much unless I really have to. I don't like really heavy knits, like Aran weight kind of things, so I really liked this mohair. It's a single strand of the Rowan Kid Silk. I like that it comes in the 2 different lengths. I think they're both knit from the bottom, which is pretty normal for this type of designer. And then they also have this cute cable single ply one, which I really liked. And for me, I like, obviously being in Australia, you have to kind of have more layers because it can be quite cold in Melbourne, but then the next day will be quite warm, or like it'll be warm in the morning, or like, well, it'll be warm in the afternoon, but it'll be like absolutely freezing in the morning, so you have to have like an extra layer with you a lot of the time. So I thought a single strand mohair would pack easily, you know, like they'll crumple down into little tiny balls and then have warmth. And then there are some cotton ones that I really liked in here. It's got this cable open cardigan, which is in cotton glace. I think that's a 6-ply yarn, like a sport weight. And then this cute little top. I really liked that. It's also in cotton glace. And then there's this little tiny cute top, which I thought was nice. So there are a few in here that I definitely consider knitting up. I also got this winter one because I had liked a few in here, not as many, but a few. Like I like this kind of cable design, and I really liked this cardigan as well, which this one is a blown yarn, which I thought would lend itself well to, you know, like holding a strand of fingering and a strand of mohair. It's Alpaca Classic, which I think is a DK weight. We will see. See, there's not as many as I like in this one, but you can't buy Kim Hargreaves patterns individually. You have to buy the booklets. And then one other thing I bought is this Butterick late 30s, early 40s. It's like a nightgown, but I thought I would make a like maxi dress because I saw this really cute dress when I was watching The Ghost Whisperer, which is an early 2000s crime, not really crime, mystery. It's just a typical like early 2000s, 2010. It went for a while. TV show, and just wearing this beautiful, probably 70s Swiss dot cotton fabric dress, and it's quite similar to this. It's got more of a V-neck, but I really liked it, and I want to sew up something like that because I think it will look good whether or not I have my hair done in a 30s 40s way or not. And the other pattern that is on, you can see I was preparing the fabric, but it's this one, and I have some cream linen, so I'm going to do view A, but I haven't been too excited about sewing, so I just kind of let it come as it is. You know, when I want to do it, I do it. When I don't want to do it, I don't. I finished my Persephone trousers and I have worn them a bit. They're a little bit loose, and I think it's something to do with the stiffness of the denim, but again, I saw pictures of myself in them and I did not like it at all. I'm trying to get better at being more neutral towards how I feel about the way I look, especially when other people take photos of me. But yeah, it kind of got to me a little, so that is that. I do have a few plans for summer knits, which I'm sure every American, anyone who's on knitting podcast YouTube is so probably sick of listening to people talk about their summer knitting plans. But here in Australia, the southern hemisphere, we're actually heading into spring, so yeah, it's not quite over for us. I haven't really been a big summer knitting person, but I did buy a few patterns recently that I want to try and do this year so that I have some mid-season transitional weather knits. So, but yeah, I think that's all. Thank you for watching. Sorry about the lighting in the very beginning. I think it should be fixed, but if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll answer them. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and like, subscribe, all that YouTubey stuff. Thanks.